been about 5 days since I last smoked. Let's talk about how I feel so far. I am in my sister's room right now, so I hope that explains why the bed is the color that it is. And I hope that explains why there are flowers right there. And a pretty ass lamp back there. Alright, so 5 days. 5 days without weed. Okay, so day one. Day one was the last day, the day that I posted my last video. That was day one. So day one was not good. My emotions were all over the place. I could not sleep at night. That was the biggest struggle ever. Let me tell you, bro. I've never tossed and turned like that ever. Like, I usually go to sleep pretty quickly when I'm high. And before I ever smoked, when I was a kid, I would always go to sleep pretty quick. But that night, it was really tough to sleep. But when I finally got to sleep, it was fucking. It was a nightmare, bro. I had a lot of nightmares, and I woke up several times throughout the night. I did not get a good night's sleep. Night one. Let me talk about the dreams, bro. The dreams and the nightmares, man, they were so intense, bro. I the last time I woke up, it was like 5 a.m. and I just didn't even want to go back to sleep. So I was afraid I was gonna have another terrible dream. So I just fucking stayed up, and that was kind of a bad idea because I had a job interview the fucking next day. So I was super tired for that. I'm sure I had hella bags under my eyes, which I kind of do right now, but they're getting better because I'm actually sleeping now. So, um, all right. So day one, pretty rough. Day two, day two and day three were about the same. Um, like I said, my emotions were still kind of all over the place. They were resetting, and I was just getting used to actually experiencing emotions again. When you quit weed, your emotions are very hard to deal with, and that was something that I struggled with on day two and day three. But nonetheless, I'm still here because I've been, reading, and I've been learning ways to actually cope with my emotions. Other ways to cope with emotions. Imagine that. There are other ways besides just smoking weed. Yeah, I didn't know that. So, well, I did know that, but I just chose to ignore that fact. All right. So, day four, okay, day two and day three, they were pretty good. Not as bad as day one. But like I said, my emotions were kind of all over the place. So today's day five. I woke up a couple hours ago. Day four was really nice. I went to sleep very quickly. I didn't have any trouble sleeping. And I woke up and I actually didn't remember any of my dreams. So my dreams have kind of like chilled out a little bit. I'm not completely overwhelmed with them anymore. Um, I had some good ass dreams on day three. Um, but I'll stop talking about dreams. I had this dream where I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and the the server thought that me and the people that I was with, they thought that we had ordered food, but we didn't. So they brought out a whole bunch of They brought out a whole feast to our table, and we started eating that shit, and we were feasting, bro, for free. It was lit. We didn't even have to pay for it. So, well, it's a dream. You don't have to pay for shit in your dream. Um, I don't think, but But yeah, bro. So like I said, I'm glad that I can actually remember my dreams now. Um, that's really nice. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a angle where there's no glare. As far as daily life goes, it's been pretty much the same. I've just been hanging out with my friends a little bit less, which kind of sucks. But I know that doing that will remove the what am I looking for? The desire to smoke, because at this point, I don't even think about weed unless it's right there in my face, and unless somebody's offering it to me. That's when I get a little. Stop doing that, man. Like, I'm craving that shit. Like, chill out. Uh, but at this point, if you offer me a blunt, or, well, definitely not a blunt, bro. I fucking hate tobacco now. I think tobacco is one of the reasons why I was sick for so long. I had this really bad cold, bro. But fuck blunts. But if somebody offered me a joint right now, I'd probably say no, because I know it's for the best. I've been doing a lot better, bro. Like I'm so much more consistent in my workouts now, and that's something I've been picking up. That's something I've done before while smoking, but it's just a lot easier to stay consistent. I feel, when you're sober and you're not on the couch, high as fuck. So, like, even with sativa strains, I don't feel the urge to go to the gym. I feel the urge to work out at home, but I don't want to go and look and talk to a bunch of people at the gym, because weed just makes me paranoid, bro. I don't fuck with it anymore. I could only see myself smoking again in the future, if I've had a really long, successful month or week or whatever, and if I feel like I deserve it. Because at this point, I don't feel like I deserve it. Um, It'll be a long time before I smoke again. I know that for a fact. Um, but yeah, I love being sober, bro. It's so much better than being high all the time. Uh, it's worth it to quit. If you're thinking about quitting, it's worth it. There's a lot of benefits, man. You start feeling emotions in depth, fully. You feel sadness, and when you're sad, you can actually be sad. Like, you don't have to escape into something else. You don't have to escape into alcohol or pills or video games or whatever it is that gives you pleasure, jacking off, weed. Like, you don't have to escape into things when you're feeling something you don't want to feel. You can actually feel those emotions and understand them. Just acknowledge them. Don't run away from it. Just acknowledge what you're feeling. That's something I've learned from one of these books that I've been reading. And that's another thing. I found that it's a lot easier to focus, when I'm reading or trying to learn something, when I'm being sober. Being high just makes learning things fun, sure, but you're not going to retain that information. You're not going to act on the information. That's another thing. Being high makes you not want to act on, those crazy ideas. You know those crazy ideas you get, like, oh, I'm about to invent this thing that does blah blah, does this. Like, I've had several instances where I've had these crazy ideas and I've thought about, inventing something that could change the world. But then I either forget about it, never write it down, or just don't act on it. And that just kind of sucks, bruh, because when you have those ideas, you want to be able to act on them. Otherwise, they're just an idea, and there's no point in having an idea if you can't act on it. So, at least for me, I just feel like being sober makes life a lot easier, and it makes me happier. to be sober. It makes me feel proud of myself that I can actually stop smoking. I'm really proud of myself. And I don't mean to gloat or just show off. I'm not trying to show off my ability to stop smoking. I'm just very happy that I was able to, because there have been several times where I've been lured back into smoking, whether it was my friends or just me being, whether out of boredom or sadness, or I, really happy, and I just like, fuck, man, I'm so happy right now, I just want to smoke. Well, I realized that just be happy and you don't have to smoke, and you can still be happy. So I don't know why it took me 4 years to realize that, but I did. So I'm here now, and I feel better than ever. And it's only been 5 days, so there's still THC still in my system somewhere. I would probably fail a drug test right now if you gave me one. But because I think it takes about 90 days for weed to get out of your system. But I'm just excited to finally get rid of that shit for good. And I'm not saying I'm going to quit forever, because that would be a statement that would be difficult to keep to myself. I'm just quitting for now, and so far I feel pretty good. So I could talk about this for days, but I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time, and I hope that you consider quitting if you feel like your life is a mess and you feel stressed out all the time, or anxious or depressed. 9 times out of 10, if you're anxious while you're high, removing the weed is going to make you less anxious. Removing the weed from your life is going to make you less anxious than you were before. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll probably give another update here soon, and give you some more tips and shit. So that'll be it for today. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and comment down below what you think about quitting weed. If you want to quit weed, just let me know, and I'll try and get some tips for you, more tips for you. Just let me know what you guys want to see in the next upcoming videos. So, peace.